Hey guys, welcome back to the medieval house building tutorial. We left off putting the stairs up as we go, and I kind of already did it on these two sides, but you pretty much put the stairs up till they touch the log and then back down the other side. We finish this side and then we can continue with the rest of the steps. Okay, now that we're all done with that, next thing we're going to do is put a log on each side of the top piece, so it kind of makes a big T or a cross. We're going to do that for every front face. Now we're going to take whatever stairs we chose for underneath the sunblock, and we're actually going to put them on top, so it kind of gives it a rounded out look and then it goes back in. And then above them we're going to put upside down stairs. This is the same thing as putting a full block, except for it kind of gives it a little bit of an accent here, and it makes it look different than if you were putting a full block. But you could pretty much choose whatever you want. Now, after you have that done, we can actually start with the whole top piece. How you do it is up to you. I kind of chose this because I like it a little bit better. It gives it kind of like a full support Nordic style look there. But what you want to do is right where your log is on the inside. You don't have to do this part, but I kind of just do it anyway. It helps when building and it just looks a little better. But put half blocks all the way through there before you actually start with the rest of it, like the whole putting half blocks above and the stairs and everything. But the next step is to actually go in from log to log and put half blocks on top of the blocks that we just placed. But you don't have to do that depending on how you want the ceiling of your building. If you want it to be all hay, then you don't really need that. But you can also put, if you took these walls and put them straight up, took some stairs underneath the hay to kind of blend it in. Next is to actually go in where your log is. You put a full block and then one on each side of it. You could do this however you want. I'm just doing it kind of this basic the shape that I've got here because it looks pretty cool and it's easy to do. But you could put like a hole rounded out. You could just keep it flat. You could put a dragon if you're able to put dragons, anything you want. And then the next step after you've got your 3 full blocks is a stair underneath the front one and then one hanging off like an overhang. After you've got those, then we're going to take some fence posts and we're going to use them as kind of like ties for our hay that overhangs. So it's going to be underneath each hay piece or crop block. And this will make it look like your roof is tied down, so if it's a windstorm it's not going to blow off, which if you wanted to script that, you could have a really big windstorm and the roof just randomly disappears. That would make for an interesting RPG setting. The next thing you want to do is take some buttons just for added detail, and I'm going to use kind of like a highlighted color, like a really light piece of wood. And I'm going to put them underneath our fence posts on the corners. And then I'm actually going to put one right here between the trapdoors and one underneath the bottom stair. Now, if people walk by, they could push the button, but big deal, it's not going to do any damage. I just use buttons for details because they add like a nice bit of color, and if they push them, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it'll activate your trapdoors, but they'll go right back down as soon as it powers off. Now for the rest of the house that's not faces, you just pretty much take the button and go around the same height all the way around it. Not on the front faces though, because you already got your other buttons. The next thing is we're going to make our flower pots. So to do that, you pretty much take your grass that you want. I use the shaded because there's going to be plants, so it kind of looks like there's foliage and dead leaves and stuff falling down. But you're going to put them wherever you want them. Try not to put too many, but make sure you put enough to where it adds some color to your house. and then just take trapdoors in the front of them and hide them. You could change the texture, you could keep them how they were, it doesn't matter. Then you just put a few flowers in, whatever you prefer. I like to throw in some long grass just because it adds a little bit more detail. Now that you've got that, we can make our porch, but we're going to go ahead and do the inside floor as well. So just use your marker blocks or put it however you want by hand, and you're going to just fill in the whole area with whatever you want for your floor. And what I did is, well, I filled in this whole square, but because it lined up with the porch, I just did the porch anyway. And what I do is I do 3 out, and then I just bring the porch over. But you could also bring it around the corner if that's what you want to. Now, the porch is really whatever you prefer. It's not really anything fancy. You could add more to it, like add a roof to it, whatever you prefer, but I just don't bother with it because it's a porch. And then you add like your crates and your extra detail blocks. Anything to make it look a little bit more pretty. Add a few crates, maybe the cylinder with the crate texture to give it a little bit extra look. Some chairs, tables, whatever you want out here. And that is pretty much how to make this house. It's pretty easy to do, and it looks good in groups. And it's fully customizable. You can change it to a big house, a small house. It doesn't really matter. So hopefully this tutorial helped you, and if it did, you should go ahead and leave a comment on something else you'd like to see. You know, maybe you want to learn a dwarven style house, an elven house, how to build a giant tree, something like that. If you leave those, then I'll probably get to making one of them. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy and continue to watch more videos.